Okay. Bhuvneshwari, Chamunda, Mundhasta.
Yeah. So the next Nama is Chamunda. I think throughout the Sahasranama, we have come across multiple times the reference to Devi as the destroyer of the demons Chanda and Munda. Various namas. When we take the word Chamunda, in the Durga Saptashati, it is the etymology of the nama is given by Devi herself. Kali goes and destroys the two demons, Chanda and Munda, and brings their head and offers it at the feet of Durga and tells Durga that I have destroyed these two. They are like the Yajna Pashu. It is now your responsible to take care of the Shumbha and Nishumbha. So, in response to that, Durga Bhagavati replies that Yasmat Chandam cha Mundam cha Grihitva Tvam Upagata Chamunda iti tato loke khyata devi bhavishyati. Since you destroyed Chanda and Munda, the two demons by that name, you will become known in the world as Chamunda. Now, the previous namas, we have seen the interpretation of this particular thing from a different perspective. Here, let us try to understand what Chanda and Munda uh, stand for from the Adhyatmika point of view, from the spiritual point of view. There are two types of avidya. One is called as the Tula avidya, and the second is called as the Mula avidya. Or rather, the order should be Mula avidya and Tula avidya. Now, let us replace these two terminologies using the agamic terminologies. Mula avidya is the Anavamala. Tula avidya is the Mayika and the Karmika Mala. Mula is the root. So we know that the Anavamala is the root for a person to identify himself as a distinct and a separate entity. Once that sets in, automatically the Bheda Buddhi and seeing the world different from himself, therefore leading to actions, engagement, and entanglement, okay, happens, which is nothing but the Mayika and the Karmika Mala. So the Mula Vidya is Anava, the Tula Vidya is the Mayika and the Karmika Mala. Now, the destroyer of both the Mula and the Tula Vidya. When we look into the Agamas and the Shastras, we have been told or we have been informed many number of times that in our system, without the supreme grace, it is impossible for an Anu or a Jiva like us to reach the supreme. This is once again one stark contrast with another Advaitic system, which is Shankara's Advaitic system. There, the revelation of knowledge and the practice would enable a sadhaka to attain the moksha as defined by the Shankara Advaita. But for us, it is impossible until unless there is a grace. We use the word Shaktipata. Shakti is nothing but Rudra Anugraha Shaktipata. So it is the flow of grace. And the channel for the Shaktipata could be many, but the most important channel is through the Guru. Now, the systems also define that then, okay, now comes the question. If Rudra Shakti or Rudra's Anugraha is enough for a person to attain, let's say, let me use the word liberation or say, then why should I engage in any Purushartha? Why should even I engage in any sadhana or any this thing? Let me wait for the Shaktipata to happen. Anyway, it will happen someday or other. So that this kind of tarka or this kind of an argument or thing doesn't come, it is clearly stated that the Tula Avidya, which is the Mayika and the Karmika Mala, can be removed through the individual efforts, through the Anavopaya. Okay. It is only that the Anava Mala needs to be removed by the Anugraha or the Shaktipat. So for the Anava Mala to go, only Shaktipata can help. But for the Karmika and the Mayika Mala to go, our sadhana would help. So all our efforts, all the sadhana that we put in, it is to remove the Karmika and the Mayika Mala. Chanda refers to the Tula Vidya or the Mayika and the Karmika Mala. And Munda refers to the Anava Mala or the Mula Vidya. This Vyakhyana is there, this is given by some ancient teachers also. They use the word Mula and Tula Vidya, which is equivalent to our three Mala system here. So, it is Devi who removes all the three Malas. Therefore, she is called as Chamunda. So, this is the interpretation of the Nama Chamunda. The very next name, the next Nama is Munda Hasta. Munda, like I said, is the Anavamala or the Mula Vidya. So Munda Hasta, one who holds the Munda in her hand, normally depicted in an iconographical form as Devi holding a severed head. What is severed head? Severed head means severing the individuality, severing that I as an independent identity. So the Nama Munda Hasta means by her grace, when she removes the three malas, she has removed the mistaken notion of an independent existence of the Anu. She has restored the understanding or the awareness that there is nothing other than Chit Shakti, which is herself, and the sadhaka is no different from herself. So Mundahasta is, or Mundahasta stands for the act of destruction of the Anavamala, by which a person loses his mistaken notion of an independently existing being. So this is Mundahasta.
Munda
Then comes
Vadodara.
So the next Nama is, there is one, Chanda Munda Vadodhara, correct?
Vadodhara.
So the next Nama is Chanda Munda Vada Uddhura. This may look like a repetition of the meaning understood in the previous nama or previous two namas. Similar, but there is a slight difference in the flavor that comes out of this particular nama. Meaning of the nama is simple. Chanda, Munda, Vadha. Vadha means destruction. Uddhura means one who is ever eager, ever agile, ever active. So one who is active to bring forth the Vadha of Chanda and Munda. Okay.
Actually, what is written is bad, b. It is not v, but maybe mistake also.
Oh yeah, it should be Va only, Vakara only.
Okay, okay, okay.
I'm just noticing. I just read it based on my understanding. Badha.
Yeah, it's written Badodhara.
I don't know.
Okay, maybe
I'm not.
Badodhara.
If it were to be Baddha also, it is okay. There
Uh-huh.
is a word Baddha, to bind, to hold. But I think contextually Vadha is the right word.
Okay, okay.
Chanda Munda, Vadha, Uddhura. One who is
Uddhara.
ever eager
Okay.
in the destruction of Chanda and Munda.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
So what is the new flavor that this Nama gives? The last word, Uddhura. Uddhura means ever active. Uddhura means ever active. Spontaneous. Natural, spontaneous awakening is what is Uddhura. If we have to understand what it is, let's go back to the Shiva Sutra, the sutra which speaks of Udyamo Bhairava. That word Udyama, the word Udyama used in the sutra does not refer to an effort which is put consciously. It is a spontaneous upswing, okay, of consciousness. So Devi is spontaneous and ever awakened in performing the Chanda Munda Vadha. The sense that there is absolutely no reason why Shiva's Anugraha has to flow on a particular Jiva or a particular Anu. You cannot bind Shiva saying that Shivanugraha will happen only if you fulfill XYZ condition. If that be the case, you're already putting a precondition. Therefore, we are restricting his Swatantri Shakti. Now, having said that, that does not mean anyone can live life as he pleases and expect the Anugraha also. What it simply says is, we cannot make out a reason why the Anugraha Shakti flows. There are several incidents. We treat them as real incidents, unlike people who are educated in the Western norms who will treat it as myths or mythology. First of all, the word mythology to be used in referring to any of our sampradaya is completely absurd. But anyway, I'll just narrate a small incident. This is from the life of a great Shaiva saint. He was called as a Tinnappa. He was a hunter. He was son of the hunter chief. They lived near a mountain near Srikalahasti, which is a place located in Andhra Pradesh. So lifelong, as a hunter, we can imagine the lifestyle, fully engaged in activities of hunting, merrymaking, and kind of. So one day he is set to prove himself to succeed his father, and the task or the challenge was within the sunset. He had to bring back five different type of. He had to hunt five different animals and bring. The fifth animal happened to be a wild boar and happened to be the most challenging thing. So it took him far away from his home. He was in pursuit, and finally he was able to achieve. He was very tired also, so he went around looking for some water. He sees one Shivalinga on the on a hillock, and he sees that someone has put flowers and kind of thing. And he's seeing this for the first time in his life, and something attracts, something connects, forges a bond between him and the linga, and he want, and so he starts seeing the linga not as an inanimate stone, but as a living person. So he goes, cooks the meat, brings it up, brings water in his mouth, okay, splashes it on the linga, offers meat, okay, as it would be the practice in their hunting community. This happens for 6 days. And every day when he would come, in the morning, actually the priest of the temple in the foothills of the hill, he would be assigned to go and do the worship. He would find all things rebellious to him. He would clean, and he will once again offer flowers and kind of thing. So this cycle continued for 6 days. And on the seventh day, Shiva wanted to prove the bhakti of Tinnappa. So the priest was hiding to see who is doing this anachara. So Tinnappa comes as usual with water in his mouth, and he offers everything. And suddenly the eyes appear on the linga, and one eye starts bleeding. He doesn't understand what to do. He tries to apply medicine and herbal medicine and all, and nothing works. So what he does is he first plucks the right eye and affixes it. The blood stops oozing. After some time, the left eye also starts bleeding. The left eye starts bleeding. Now he knows what to do. And he also knows he has one more eye. But his only problem was if he plucks it out, he will not know where to place it correctly. So he uses his feet and marks the place. Okay, so he touches the linga with his feet, and he is about to pluck out the eye. And at that time, he hears the Ashariri of Shiva. So everything else falls in place after that. And he gets the name Kannappa from that place. Kann in Tamil and Telugu means eye. So one who offered his eye. Now, if you take this story, there is absolutely no reason that we can attribute to what happened between the two. Why should that grace no be, and why should he be tested like this, and kind of things. So this Uddura, no ever uh, it's a spontaneous manner in which he is ready to shower his grace, and this is unparalleled. No example in the world can come anywhere near to what he does for us. For that matter, the Shastras are also a form of his Anugraha. The mantras are also a form of his Anugraha. So he designates mantras to be there in place to help the sadhaka. He brings forth the Shastra. We have seen when in the Kali Yuga, the practice of the Tantra Agama wanes away. He sends Durvasa Rishi to rejuvenate the Kaula Tantras. So his Anugraha is something which is unparalleled and it is spontaneous. So for this Vadha, for this destruction of Anava, Karmika, Anava, Mayika, and the Karmika Vala, is ever eager. Our only responsibility, especially after having been exposed to the Satshastra like the Tantra Agama, is to have firm faith and do everything in our mind to follow the dictates of the Shastra in order to, not to earn the grace, but in order to realize the grace through whatever means he has designed for us. So when we say Devi is Chanda, Munda, Vada, Uddhura, she is ever eager to remove this ajnana. Not only that, this is not some temporary or partial removal, it is complete vada, complete annihilation, so that it never, we would never be under that spell of differentiation again. So, Chanda Munda Vada Uddhura.
Ashtasatye Kadashi. Hmm?
Ashta, no?
Ashta, correct.
Okay. Ekadashi is the next nama.
Correct, Ekadashi. Yeah. Ashtasatye Kadashi.
Ashtasati Ekadashi. Is it?
Correct. Correct.
So Ashtasati, Rakeshji, I'm not able to correct the word Ashtasati.
Is it more than? No,
Ah, yes.
It is
It should be
ma.
Ashtami.
Ma. Yeah.
Ashtami
Yeah,
Ekadashi.
it is
Ashtami.
Ashtamaye.
Ashtami and Ekadashi.
Ashtamaye.
No, Ashtami Ekadashi.
Ashtamya. Okay,
Ashtamaye.
Ashtamaye.
Ashtamaye Kadashi.
Okay. No, I thought ma, but okay. Ashtamaye Kadashi. You're right. Okay.
So it is Ashtami Ekadashi.
Ekadashi.
When we do the sandhi between me and a, it will become me. So Ashtami Ekadashi. So the nama is Ashtami, the eighth. So Devi is called as Ashtami. Very important tithi, especially in sadhana. Some tithis are special, especially in a month. We call them as Parva. We have already seen this in one of the previous nama, what a Parva is. So they are called as Pancha Parva. 5 Parvas in every month, which is nothing but the Krishna Paksha Ashtami, the Amavasya, the Purnima, the Sankranti. Sankranti is the day that the sun moves from one zodiac to the other zodiac. We all know about Makar Sankranti. Every month there is a Sankranti. Okay, so sun moves from one to the other. So this is the Masa Sankranti. And for those communities who follow the solar-based calendar, the Sauramana calendar, the Sankranti marks the dawn of the next month. So in Bengal, in Kerala, even in Tamil Nadu, where they follow the solar-based calendar, the month starts on the Sankranti. So Ashtami, Amavasya, Purnima, Sankranti, and Chaturdashi. Krishna Paksha Chaturdashi. So Krishna Paksha Ashtami, Krishna Paksha Chaturdashi, Amavasya, Purnima, and Sankranti. These 5 are called as Pancha Parva. 5 very special days for Upasana. So that is from the. What is special about Ashtami? When we take the Tithi, every Tithi is presided over by a Devata whom we call as Tithi Nitya Devata. She is the Nitya Devata of that particular Tithi. So this Krama is there for almost all Mahavidyas, but at least for Tripura Sundari and Dakshina Kali, we have very clear information about who these Tithi Nitya Devatas are. They are the presiding Devatas of the Tithi. And say, for example, from the Shukla Praksha Pratipad, there will be a Tithi Nitya Devata by name Kameshwari. Shukla Paksha Dvitiya has the Tithi Nitya Devata by name Bhagamalini, and so forth. And when the Paksha changes, one has to reverse it. Okay? It is the Ashtami Tithi Devata who is unchanging in Shukla Paksha and in the Krishna Paksha. Okay? She is called as Tvarita. The name of the Devata for the Ashtami Tithi, the Tithi Nitya Devata for an Ashtami, whether it is Krishna Paksha Ashtami or Shukla Paksha Ashtami, is Tvarita. So, Ashtami as a Tithi in the sadhana stands for the unchanging principle, stands for that which does not change. Not only that, it is that complete balance between the flow of, see, there are 2 types of upasana. The upasana which is done outside using the external forms of worship, flowers, arghya, etc. There is something called an inner worship which we call as an antaryaga. Everything is internalized and the devatas are all understood. To start with, we imagine, and then we hope that it leads to the understanding that the devatas are various physical and the emotional and the spiritual aspects of a human being. So when from that point of view, the Ashtami is the perfect samya between the prana and the apana. That is, the flow of the prana and the apana, when they become perfectly still. Okay, when they become perfectly still, that is the Tvarita or the Ashtami Devata. This is the explanation. See, we normally what happens, one whole cycle of breaths, okay, follows the 16 count or the Shodashi. So it is broken down into 16 parts. The 8th section is that where there is a perfect equilibrium of prana and apana. And we know from various references, right, from Vijnana Bhairava and others, what happens when the prana and apana come to a standstill. When the prana and apana comes to a standstill, the Chit Kundalini automatically raises. Because the Kundalini is getting her feed from the prana apana flow only. When this comes to a stillness, the Kundalini Shakti rises. So Tvarita is considered to be the most effective, or rather Ashtami is considered to be the most effective Tithi for the arousal of the Kundalini Shakti for those who follow the Yoga Marga within the sadhana. So Ashtami, okay, is from that point of view. Otherwise, the word Ashtami also refers to 8th Devata, So we all know about the Saptamatrikas, Brahmi, Maheshwari. There is a tradition of making it as Ashtamatrika also, and we know when we do the classification of the letters, we use the Ashtamatrika scheme because the vowels will become one matrika, Brahmi, okay, Kaka Ganga will become the Maheshwari, okay, Cha Cha Ja Janya, no, let me see. Yeah, so Cha Cha Ja Janya is Kaumari, Ta Ta Da Dhana is Vaishnavi, okay, Ta Ta Da Dhana is Varahi, Papa Babhama will be Narasimhi. Then we have
Yara Lava.
Indra. Oh, I missed out Indrani. Okay, there is one Indrani, and we have also the eighth matrika is called as Mahalakshmi or Chamunda. So the eighth matrika, the Chamunda Mahalakshmi or Mahalakshmi matrika. Okay, so when we say Ashtami, it will refer to Chamunda. Just like the moment you say Panchami as a term used to refer to a Devata, it will only refer to Varahi because she is the fifth. In the order, she is the fifth. So Ashtami refers to the Mahalakshmi Matrika. Okay. The letters are Sha. In certain sampradayas, La and Sha. So that is Ashtami. The next nama is Ekadashi. The 11th. The meaning of Ekadashi is very simple. It just means the 11th. So when we are normally referring to Tithis, Ekadashi refers to the 11th Tithi. Okay. So we have different Ekadashi Tithis. So totally there are 24 Ekadashis as per the Vaishnava Sampradaya on which people fast. So Ekadashi is considered to be the most important Tithi for the Vaishnavas. It is because Ekadashi is a Devata who comes out of the heart of Mahavishnu and fights with the demons. And Mahavishnu blesses her, saying that anyone who observes fast on the day you had manifested yourself, which is the Ekadashi Tithi, they will be the recipient of my grace in full measure. So Ekadashi is a Devata Visesha as per the Vaishnava Agamas, like Pancharatra and others, and also the Ekadashi Tithi. Okay. And what happens is that the Vaishnava Agamas also speak of the Panchaparva. All they will do is they will replace the Ashtami with Ekadashi. So the Vaishnava Panchaparva will be Ekadashi, Chaturdashi, Amavasya, Purnima and Sankranti. Okay. So Ekadashi is also part of the Vaishnava Panchaparva scheme. But for us, the most important thing when it comes to Ekadashi is, it is referring to Devi as the source of the entire creation. How can we say this? Which is the 11th vowel?
Vowel.
11th vowel.
E, E, U, U, E, E, I. O. No.
No. Totally 16 vowels.
Yeah. A, E, U, U, R, L, A.
A is the 11th vowel.
A. Correct.
A is the 11th vowel. Okay. We write A in Sharda Lipi in a manner, but we all know that the Sharda derives from the Brahmi Lipi. more or less. So in Brahmi, have we seen how A is written?
No.
In Brahmi, A is written as a triangle.
Oh, right, right. Hmm.
A is written as a triangle. And triangle in the Shastra stands for Yoni. It stands for Yoni. Okay? The downward facing triangle.
Yes.
Upward facing triangle stands for the Shiva Tattva. The
But the
downward facing triangle.
Brahmi triangle is upward facing, correct, Shekharji?
Brahmi is upward facing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Hmm.
So in the Tantra Shastra, normally the downward facing is the Shakti Tattva
Correct.
and the upward facing is the Shiva Tattva, and their when they collaborate, okay, it forms a Shatkona. But during the what we can say, during the Samhara Avastha, okay, the Shiva triangle will not be there. Only the Shakti triangle will be there. Okay, so you will not see this fusion. You will see only the Shakti triangle in many of the yantras which are for the devatas who are Samhara Pradhana devatas. Say for example, Dakshina Kali. Dakshina Kali will have 5 concentric triangles. Okay. So triangle normally refers to the Srishti. So upward triangle is referring to the Srishti, the source of all Srishti. The downward triangle is referring to the Srishti, okay, in its merging form. Anyway, it is the source. So triangle stands for Yoni, or the source of all the creation. So from there we come and we go back into it. Okay, we go back into it. So Ekadashi, see, all this is many of the Tantragamas, they don't explicitly state certain things. They use only cryptic languages in many places. These references to certain concepts, certain shapes, certain even namas, okay, or even numbers, okay, in a very cryptic manner, is only to ensure only the eligible people are given this particular information. So Ekadashi means Devi, who is the source of the entire creation. Devi is the source of the entire creation. In spite of the fact that she is the source of the entire creation, the next nama says Purna. She is complete. So it is not like how we can imagine a bag full of, let's say, mangoes. Okay, you take one mango from it, or 2 or 3 mangoes from it, the bag becomes empty. That's not how the world operates. She is ever full. In spite of all the changes and the manifestations that we see, she continues to be in the state of Purnatva. So, in Pratibhijna Hridaya, Acharya uses the word Ati Purna. And at the same time, she is Ati Rikta also. She is completely empty. Completely emptied of all forms of differentiations. Completely full, because there is nothing else that exists apart from her. Therefore, she is full. We are in the state of constant seeking because we consider ourselves to be incomplete. All our efforts to earn various things, pleasures, etc., is coming from that basic misunderstanding that I am lacking in something. Therefore, I want something to make myself complete. But in the case, she is ever full because there is nothing else apart from her. Therefore, she is Purna. And also Purna refers to the Purnima Tithi. So I think there are other namas which are going to come,
Yeah, Purna
which are
Navami.
which refers to the other parvas. So we'll stop here, Rakesh. I need
Sure.
to go
Okay.
somewhere.
Okay.
We'll continue this.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you,
Just
Shekharji.
before you close,
Yes.
I want to ask you for that program. You want to choose some topic?
Do you want to make it like a regular lecture? I think we are having lectures. We can plan something else where there is equal amount of participation by the.
Yeah, good idea.
Switch off the record, Rakeshji.
Oh yeah, sorry. 1 minute. How do I do that? 1 minute.